This is my month 23 keto update. Apparently I can't count months because that's what I said last month, but since next month is my 2-year keto-versary, this month will have to be month 23. So yeah, welcome to my month 23 keto update. Hey everybody, it's your Keto Sis Lydia. Welcome back to my channel. We are doing a month 23 keto update. I have been on this way of living for almost 2 years on my quest to get healthier, to get smaller, to get lighter, to lose the extra poundage that I have been carrying for a very, very, very long time. So if you're new here, I started off on my keto journey at 265 pounds. I was a size 22, 24, and it started about 10 years ago and then just slowly, gradually increased, and I got heavier and heavier until I reached my all-time high of 265 pounds. Then I decided to make a change. I'd heard about keto, gave it a try, lost 30 pounds within the first 3 months. Then I had myself a cheat day where I got off of keto for the weekend, and then I couldn't really get back on Monday. And I was like, well, I'll just wait through this week, maybe call it a cheat week, and then get back up on Monday of next week. And it just never happened, never happened. 6 months later, I gained back the majority of my weight, 25 of the 30 pounds that I had lost. And it was really hard to kind of convince myself that it would work for me a second time. I just assumed keto wasn't going to work for me and I needed to find something else. But thanks to my good friend Brian, who showed me that he was able to lose 50 pounds. He and his wife each lost 50 pounds. It inspired me, motivated me to try it again. And here I am 2 years later, losing, I guess I'm about 90 pounds. I guess we'll see at the end when I weigh myself and measure myself to show you where we are today. So what has life been like for me this past month? Well, let me tell you. So mid-May, when I decided that this counting macros business was driving me nuts and I was being way too restrictive on myself with an already restrictive diet, that I just kind of threw my hands up in the air. And it was perfect timing because my birthday was right around the corner. So I gave myself permission to just kind of get off the rules of keto. So I still kept it keto. I didn't go into, face first, head first into a plate of pasta or pizza or all the bad starchy carbs I could think of. I still kept it keto, but I totally cheated this past month in a keto way, I guess you should say. So what this month looked like for me was basically a lot of keto treats, Rebel ice cream, Quest chips, low carb tortillas, alcohol, everything that I didn't allow myself to have. And what I noticed this past month, it was a lot like when I cheated that first time, in the sense that it was really hard for me to just, stop. So for instance, my original idea was to take 2 weeks off and have like a free-for-all, no rules keto, and then just kind of get back on and tighten up the reins and continue on with my journey. Well, my birthday came and went at the end of May, and then here we are mid-June, and it's literally been a month of living this way. So it wasn't even a break, it was literally a free-for-all. So, and it felt like I couldn't stop. I found myself eating way more than I normally did. And I don't know why that was, because I wasn't hungrier. I found myself eating when I wasn't hungry because it was time, or because I was afraid I was going to get hungry later, so I better eat now. And that was something that I was like, why am I doing that? Like, I remember when I first started keto, I ended up doing one meal a day because I just wasn't hungry, and it wasn't a big deal. Like, everybody found whatever they wanted to eat for dinner, and it didn't have to rest on my shoulders to make a big dinner for everybody and sit down and eat this big meal. If I wasn't hungry, I didn't eat. And for some reason this week, or this month rather, I gave myself permission to not care about that, and I found myself making huge dinners and sitting down and eating. And like, even my husband's like, we don't need sides. Like, I can just make the steak the way it is. And I'm like, wait, no, let me make cream spinach, and let me make this decadent mushroom cream sauce to throw over this steak. And I did everything I could to kind of fatten up my meals. And I think it was because the past few months I had been doing a lower fat version of keto, and I felt like, I really liked when I was doing my heavy whipping cream and my coffee, and I was cooking my steaks in butter, and I was having ribeyes instead of chicken breasts. And for the past few months, I didn't have any of that. So I think when I said no rules, I really went for it, and I ate all of the things. Like, I don't know if you've ever had a binge moment before your weight loss journey, if you're on one, where it just felt like, if you stopped and thought about it, it felt like you were trying to gain weight. Like, that's what it felt like for me. Like, I consciously didn't exercise. I consciously didn't put my watch on just to even look at my steps. Maybe not consciously, subconsciously, because I was like, oh, I forgot to put my watch on. Darn it, that's weird. I never forget to put my watch on. So I didn't exercise. I didn't like try to pull the reins on anything, because if I tried to pull the reins on anything, it felt like I was restricting myself. And then I was like, no, that's what this whole, deal is that no rules. So no rules. So let's have the entire pint of the Rebel ice cream instead of just like a couple of spoonfuls, which I normally did before all of this counting macros business started. Just found myself falling back into some old habits, dangerous habits, destructive to my progress habits. And I wasn't exactly sure how or why I even ended up there. But it was very interesting. Like this past week, I remember making this steak with shrimp. I had like 10 shrimp, and then I made this like heavy Parmesan cream sauce with sun-dried tomatoes and poured it all over that. And then I found some broccoli that I had left over, and I ate that. And the problem is like right before I sat down for dinner, I wasn't hungry. But we had taken the steaks out. We had already planned we were going to eat steak and shrimp for dinner. And the next thing you know, this meal ended up, and I'm a clean plate person, whether I'm full, I've had enough, or I'm even hungry at all. If you put something on a plate, I will eat it all. I mean, case in point, last night I had a steak that about 3/4 in, I was kind of full. But did I eat the rest of it? Yeah. I mean, it's weird. I've never not left food on a plate, not at a restaurant, not at home. I'm a clean plate person, and when you're trying to lose weight, that's not very helpful. So I've got to figure out how to portion out my meals to where it's not a huge amount of food. And I've always been a person who's able to put away a lot of food. Obviously, I wouldn't have been able to turn into this if I wasn't. But now that I'm trying to get to a goal weight, eating like that, whether it's keto food or not, is not going to get me to my goals. So I've got to kind of pull the reins in on that and really listen to my body, really do practice intuitive eating. And obviously I didn't get to that size of listening to my body. And I don't know why I think miraculously one day I'm going to be able to listen to my body, but that is my goal. And that's kind of where I want to end up, be able to listen to my body, eat intuitively, eat when I'm hungry, and don't eat when I'm not, and stop when I'm full. Why are those basic instructions or guides so hard to follow for me? I'm not exactly sure. So I'm trying to figure that out and figure out why I eat when I'm not hungry, and I continue eating even if I'm full, or I don't know how to stop when I'm full, or, all of those things I don't understand. So I've got to kind of dig deeper and to be conscious of that every time I eat and make a decision on every meal. And I kind of cringed and braced myself for today because I knew this month's update was coming up soon, and who knew what the scale was going to say. So here we are. Last month I weighed in at 174.4. It wasn't even my lowest. I remember teetering back and forth between 172, 174, and I was just like, I want to get to 160. Can I just get to 165 so I can be 100 pounds lost? I'm kind of close. I'm 7 pounds away, yada, yada, yada. Well, I weighed in this month, and for month 23, I gained 5 pounds. I weighed in at 179.4, exactly 5 pounds. So even though I was only 7 pounds away from hitting that 165, that 100-pound mark, I have now pushed myself 5 pounds more away from that goal. So now I'm, I don't know. Do the math. I'm at 179.4. So what is that? 14 pounds away from the goal of 165. Oh my God. But you know, I knew this was going to happen. Living my best keto life, I knew, or worst keto life, I guess. And it's funny because I had thought that this is like maintenance for me. But the thing is, it wasn't maintenance because I didn't maintain. If I had weighed in this month and it was 174.4, then I ate at maintenance, and now I know what that looks like. But apparently I was eating at a gain. I was eating in excess, and it wasn't maintenance. It was slowly gaining weight back. So that's where we are. Now for my measurements. So I was looking at my measurements and I'm noticing a trend of increase, right? So for the most part, I did increase. I'm sure it's bloat from eating so much, but it's habit. So if I continue to eat as much as I am, it's not bloat. It's slowly gaining the weight back. So I've got to realize that and not give myself breaks like, oh, it's probably retaining water. I'm sure if you eat lighter today, tomorrow you'll drop 5 pounds. No. I gained 5 pounds. 5 pounds of probably fat on my body. So we've got some work to do moving forward. But I gained an inch on my chest. I gained a 3/4 inch on my high waist. I gained a 1/4 inch on my lower ab. I lost a 1/2 inch on my upper thighs, but who knows what's happening with the measuring tape there. I gained a 1/2 inch on my neck. And then I went down 1.5 inches around my midsection, the highest part of my waist, my belly button area, which I thought was odd. So overall, it's not too bad. I gained 5 pounds, and overall, once you plus and minus all of the different areas, I only gained 3/4 of an inch. So, so I have like 1 week before we go on vacation for about 7 to 10 days. You guys, I don't know what I can do next week that might prepare me for the 10 days I'm going to be on vacation. I mean, I could still pull the reins back, and that's the mentality that I need to tell myself is you could still eat keto and not track, but maybe make smaller changes from what you've been doing this past month. I feel like I'm starting on square one again, like how to relearn everything all over again. I don't know if I'm just going to start by like trying to push my coffee back and try to do intermittent fasting again, or really try to listen to my body and eat lighter and not eat a big dinner, which is what I have been doing lately. So I'm going to record all of next week's food for you. I hadn't been doing that because literally I've been taking a break even from filming as much as I used to, just to kind of have a mental break from it all, it seems like. And I've said it before, showing you my food every week is accountability for me. It shows you and me what I'm eating, and I basically have to face the music, right? So not shooting it, not showing you, it kind of feels like I'm like, nobody knows. Nobody knows what I'm eating. Nobody needs to know what I'm eating. And those are not good habits to have, and especially on a weight loss journey where I'm trying to get to goals. I feel like I'm going backwards. So, okay, so I had my fun. I had a month of no rules, no cares in the world. I don't think tracking is 100% gonna be my next step, but I think pulling the reins back a little bit and just kind of, you know, being better next week as far as listening to my body and not overdoing it on the food. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to hit that subscribe button now. Leave me a comment. You know I've had kind of a rough end of this month, so I could use any words of encouragement or advice. Please leave it in the comments below. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.